KMU Office 5521, 2 days on the run. Miserable life. We will have here a presentation quite simple, quite clear about the organized crime in Brazil, 25 years in 2 minutes. We will observe that since 1988 we had the Constitution, the Brazilian Constitution. Then we had this first moment as something, kind of a little confused. And people got interconnected at the institutional level by political interest in the very first moment because they got the access to the public budget and the national treasury based on the democracy, which was, the big hit at that time. So the next moment was 1992 was the neoliberal ideas and all things kind of the global speech. And then we had a systematical planning activity, which was considering observe the structure as a state and how this state could be transferred to the private area considering scams. Then we had a division on public administration that one specific group of activities are linked with the economical environment. In general, the state, according with this Constitution 88, can't be part of the economy. Brazil is a free market, an open economy. But you had this area, and those areas in general are essential elements to have the economical result structure. There's energy, oil, and if you have this, you have the control of the economy. Considering the exploitation as laborship, you have the control of the economical factors. Then we had after 2000 the moment which was the operational activity, as you can observe, organized, systematical, with a conditional complementarity which was have the continuity plan according with the previous moment. A unique thing, but presented as different political interests. But you observe that all groups would like to have to get the access to the budget by the democracy and elections, to use the budget to transfer money and obtain advantage from the national treasury, but the budget is an instrument for control. 2000 up to 2012, Brazil had a lot of corruption spread around, but mostly all inside the public department. As you know, a little stink that you had at the corner, a small corner at your department, and you have a mind, a criminal mind for sure, that you observe this from the top and could get this interconnected inside the Brazilian space. You had the idea of the systemic crime in Brazil. Then we could observe that this must be organized to have the continuity by the election, and you have the exploitation of vulnerability. Next moment, you open the Brazil during the events as global events, and then things do not belong only to Brazil anymore. We had critical events, which was the black market of access tickets to the games on FIFA, and you have the Africa and others with a huge domain on it. You know, put the Brazilians away that are acting at this scam, and the same thing you could observe at the carnival, which was a federal investigation and persecution, that couldn't get resolved as usual in all areas. Then we can get that we had 88 up to 92 the plan to set groups, 90 and 92 up to 2000, the planning and organized, activity. The 2000 up to 2012, the operative interconnection of corruption spread and distributed in Brazil. 2012 up to 2021, we had the open space and the integration at the transcontinental level, namely the globalization of transnational organized crime, really supported and only supported by public corruption as local scams. We have this proven at this research at this time, which is a work exhaustive, sometimes pretty dangerous, and that is kind of closed a long time ago, but looks like that we have to close, like a repetition. Hell is a repetition and a miserable repetition. So, this is the idea of the transnational organized crime in Brazil. On present time, we are having something which is a continuity of this structural model presented as an organized plan at the institutional level, unable to have dismissing the institution or even the proper activity by law against groups, because sometimes they got combined or sometimes confused as the organized crime and the criminal activity as itself. Then, on present time, we could get that we had the approach, the planning, the interconnection, the localization of the space, and now we have the redistribution of power according with the institutional privilege as a raise of corruption from the top, because they have the decision to redistribute the power. For sure, affecting interests at the global system. If you do a violation against this research, and you did, you had a 33 trillion charge against you, which will be used as an anti-crime budget. Because we can count that a government, promiscuous in things that are presented like this. It's all facts. With institutions as justice, Congress, and unable to have the responsiveness, for sure, you must have independence as the public budget, I mean the anti-crime budget, offering information and structure to the small knots that would like to survive and put the criminals out. Then you will have the sewage of this institution, away, and things will be proper again. Because 33 trillion is much bigger, much stronger, and greater than any $1 billion organized crime scam. This is this general idea of the organized crime in Brazil, nowadays interconnected. But at the same way, you have the interconnection of vulnerability and weakness inside the organized crime. And corruption affects the organized crime as affecting anyone and everybody. So, your scam is brilliant, is great, but our budget is bigger and greater. Have a good day.